welcome to Learn to Live Stress-Free. This is Christine Wright with Dr. Robert Wright Jr. of www.stressfreenow.info. Our featured guest today is Rosie Taylor, speaking on practical marketing with referrals. Rosie Taylor's entrepreneurial spirit dawned in her teens with a newspaper route. Even when she was employed at a full-time job, she still built websites for small businesses at night. She had the good fortune to be exposed to marketing from giant corporations like Nikon down to her own wedding coordinator business back in the early 90s. As a full-time marketing consultant, Rosie often helps her clients develop their own referral programs while leveraging the power of online marketing. A teacher at heart, she volunteers her time leading SCORE workshops for local businesses and offers coaching programs for those who want to roll up their sleeves for themselves. Rosie enjoys speaking and sharing her knowledge of online marketing, social media, and WordPress. She has spoken to audiences at the U.S. Professional Tennis Association, Hispanicize, World Camp Miami, and Social Media Day. Rosie is one of the most enthusiastic and exuberant people we know. Whether she's teaching, training, or speaking, she just lights up the room. Not only is she our friend and teacher and trainer, she's also our coaching client. Hi, Rosie. Thank you for being on our show.
Hi, Christine. Hi. Really glad to be here today.
Yes, Rosie, it's so glad that you could join us today. Thank you so much.
Hi, Bob. Nice to see you, too.
Okay, Rosie, please tell us about yourself and what led you to do the work you are currently doing.
Basically, I used to do public affairs for a local city down here, and I really loved the idea of not just being the webmaster, but they had me do things like work with the radio and their print, their annual report, city newsletter, and all that public affairs work really led me to dive into communications on a big level. And I really wanted to do that for small businesses because I saw a lot of small businesses struggling with that. And that's when I started my business back in 2011.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Rosie.
Sure.
Rosie, you are skilled in so many different aspects of working with the web, teaching, training, and since I've known you, you've always come to the table with so much enthusiasm, and it doesn't seem as if there's anything you can't figure out and can't solve. Since you have such a broad range from, web design, web development, to marketing, to social media, working with your clients, what have you found is the greatest challenge that your clients face in developing their websites, promoting their business?
I think the biggest challenge most small business owners have is really just trying to stay away from the shiny object syndrome, meaning that there are so many pieces to that, right? Website, social media, online advertising, and even just things like doing direct mail pieces. I think that the biggest challenge is not to chase the latest thing. So like when Pinterest came out, everybody was chasing that, and I forgot about their website. So just having a strategy and asking yourself why. Why do I want to be on Facebook, or why would I want to be on Twitter, and understanding what the value of that is and if it's a good fit for your business. Who cares if it's the latest thing? If it's not a good fit for your business, there's no point in spending time and money on it. So I think just having that strategy and asking yourself why is probably the biggest challenge that most people have.
I've noticed, Rosie, sometimes with many websites, I see they mention things and maybe in the beginning it's there, or many businesses, and then it goes away. I think maybe this is that shiny object you talked about, that one day there's a heavy presence on Facebook or Twitter, and then you don't see any post for weeks or months. Is that a problem?
Yeah, especially with blogging, which is actually a good thing for businesses to do, but it is a little intensive, and it does require some planning to make it successful. So you'll see businesses go gung-ho, they post blog posts for a good 3 months, and then they just stop, and then it's kind of funny because years later, like now, I'll look at a client's website, and they'll tell me, our traffic's really dropped off. Well, you haven't blogged in 2 years, so that could be one of the reasons why, right? So it's really easy, like I said, for business owners to go after something that's new and to kind of abandon something that was working, but they didn't really connect the dots. They didn't really understand that was what was bringing them traffic, and because they stopped, the traffic stopped.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now,
yeah.
You very definitely are a natural teacher. Not only do you know the information, when you present it to someone else, I just see how easily you do it, and you're able to really meet the person where they are. And I've also seen you speak, and you just light up when you're in front of the audience. How important is it for you or for anyone to have passion in their career?
Oh, I think it's super important. It's probably the most important thing for me. I know when I'm not feeling passionate about what I do, that's the day where I go, do I give up? Do I go get a job? Because especially when you own your own business and you're doing your own thing, you're putting so much into it. It's all you think about it. It's what you do. You live and breathe it. Even in your career, if you're working for someone, if you just don't love what you're doing, it's just a job. And if you're not enjoying yourself, then you're missing out on life, really. So I think it makes you a better person. It makes you better at what you do and what you can offer and share with the world when you have a passion for it.
Yes, I know that's, really one of the things I enjoy when I see you, because whether you're in front of a small crowd or a large crowd, it's obvious to me, how lit up you are, and certainly entrepreneur, small business owner, solopreneur, that when you're doing many jobs by yourself, I found that, that's really a key ingredient.
Yeah, keeps you going.
Rosie, in your recently released book, Renewable Referrals, How to Cultivate More Profits, you discuss the power of referrals. Can you define for our audience what a referral is and how they work and why referrals are so important for the success of any business?
Well, referrals are really what we all do naturally, and that's the word of mouth. So when I tell someone, hey, I know a guy who can help you with your stress, I'm giving you a referral. And that's all it is. And it is something that kind of comes natural to people. And it's funny because in the Referral Engine by John Jantz, he kind of says that maybe back in the caveman days, that's how we survived, right? We want to be helpful. We want to tell people, hey, don't go after that elephant by yourself. He'll kill you. You should bring people with you. And just the idea that if we see someone with a need and we know someone else that can help them, we are more than happy to put them together. And I think that's just a natural thing that people want to do. They want to be helpful. So word of mouth is really all that we mean by referrals, is encouraging your current customers to bring you more business.
I noticed, Rosie, that you use the term, besides referral, renewable referrals. Because what is the distinction that you're making there?
So word of mouth marketing kind of just does happen for most businesses. It happens on its own on some level. What I mean by renewable referrals is the idea that you actually create a plan and a system so that those referrals refer more people and so on, so that there's a constant stream of referrals rather than you kind of working away at a referral and for a little while, maybe for a few weeks, and then you stop. And then you work at it a little bit, and then some referrals come in, and then you stop. So the idea is to constantly make this an operation of your business in a very systematic kind of way that's easy for you to maintain all the time.
Oh, so I see. What we're talking about with renewal referrals is it's a way of thinking about it, referral, in a conceptual way where it's not just the first person that gets referred to you, but it's the referral of the referral, and then setting up a system so that becomes more or less automatic, that you stay in touch with them, you find out what their needs are, you address those needs, you keep them happy, and then those referrals refer other people to you.
Yeah, you actually are encouraging people to be brand ambassadors, and I know we talk about that when we discuss social media all the time. Those people that just champion what you do and they love what you do and they want to share it with people. And by having a referral program, you're kind of formalizing that relationship with them. And in the program, you're rewarding them for doing that for you. And so it's a win-win for everybody. It doesn't feel like they're doing something for nothing. It feels like you're making it easy and you're facilitating it, and it just feels good on both sides because they're giving you business, but you're sending them, a brontosaurus-sized steak every few months or something, or you're giving them extra value for the relationships that you have with them, maybe more time consulting with them or extra programs or some benefit of some kind.
Right, and that's really great, Rosie, that you focus on the benefit or that you're solving a challenge or a problem for a person. Now, let me ask you this. You are a protege of John Janisch, who devised the Duct Tape marketing system. As a certified duct tape marketing specialist, can you explain for our audience what duct tape marketing is and why it's such a powerful business tool?
Oh, sure. So duct tape marketing was founded by John Janisch probably 20 to 25 years ago. I actually had to read that book in college for marketing class, and that was my first exposure to it. The whole idea with duct tape is that it's really practical. And John's point of view for marketing is that small businesses don't usually have a dedicated marketing department and usually don't even have a person dedicated to just marketing. So he wanted to come up with a system that was very practical and very step-by-step. And it really centers around this idea of what he calls the marketing hourglass. And what's powerful about that is the marketing hourglass explains that people in general go through stages when they're making a buying decision. And it doesn't matter what it is, but if it's a pack of gum, they go through the stages really quickly. And the stages are know, like, trust, try, buy, repeat, refer. And we've heard a lot of people mention know, like, and trust. A lot of organizations use that kind of trifecta for marketing or sales. And even BNI, who's really big on referrals, mentions know, like, and trust. If it's a pack of gum, you fly through those stages really quick. It's double mint. I love double mint. I'm going to risk the $1 to buy it. But if it's a car and it's $40,000, you're going to really take your time, right? I know, Dr. Bob, you're going to go for a test drive, right? And you're going to really understand what's special about this car that it makes it worth investing $40,000. What John's system does is it really extends the sales funnel with that repeat and refer stage. And part of what we talk about in the book is that referral stage, that it's perpetuating. People should buy from you again and again. People should be referring you new business again and again. And that's where your relationship with the customer never really ends. It's an ongoing relationship. And I think that's what makes it powerful, is that whole concept of focusing on that customer experience and really making that perpetual machine at the end of it. So it isn't just take the money and run. It's, no, we have a relationship where I do things for you and you do things for me, and we both win.
Great, Rosie. I love that explanation. What I was just thinking about is in terms of what entrepreneurs do and what entrepreneurship is, that sometimes it feels like juggling, like you're juggling the circus, and that
right.
there are all these balls, and then it's not just juggling balls, then bowling pins are thrown up in the air, and so you have to juggle balls and bowling pins, sometimes with training and sometimes without. And so let me ask you this. What are your toughest challenges to finding work-life balance, and what do you think that, most people, in our audience and beyond would find to be challenging to find work-life balance?
Oh, I think that's always tough. And even for many years, I was a single mom, and even just working at a regular job, there's always that balance you want to strike. I think for entrepreneurs, it's especially challenging because this is your baby, and you don't clock out at 5 o'clock. You're there at 11 o'clock at night working things or thinking of ideas or thinking about your clients. So I think it's even tougher. And for me, it's always been a struggle to find time to just have a life, to go to the beach. Even though we live in Florida, I rarely go to the beach anymore, and it's not that far. Just having time to play to go to a movie or spend time with my family. I think it's tough, and I think that's where hiring a coach comes in to play, because that coach will remind you, hey, remember you said you were burnt out, you need to carve out some time in your day. And that's what I've done. Work with a coach, who tells me you need to set aside time every day. And that's in my calendar, and it's sacred. I really try to not schedule anything around that time. So I think that's the hardest part, is just having a life.
Rosie, as you mentioned that, you said something very important, and I think sometimes entrepreneurs don't realize when they're getting into something and when they're starting something, they think it's going to be a short work day. But you say again, because some people may not know, if they're thinking of going out on a new venture, they'll be doing a lot of new learning. So, a work day, in your experience, tell us what an entrepreneurial work day can be.
For me, because I have a wonderful coach, for me, my workday consists of kind of compartmentalizing. So I have times in my workday where I get up, I may do some prep work, and then I may do some client work, and then I have my happy personal time, and then I might do some financial work or meetings. But I also have time during the week where I have days dedicated to certain things, and I always have one day a week where I'm literally just planning and following up, because otherwise it feels like a treadmill, and I'm not actually making progress. I'm just chasing my tail all the time. And I'm not saying that it's always perfect, but having that framework really helps keep me more on task, and it helps keep my clients happy, which is always good, and it helps me keep my own sanity, because I think when you're an entrepreneur, there's something about it that you're a little bit of a risk taker, and that's okay. But there's also that personality where you'll do almost anything and you'll keep at it, and you're kind of stubborn about it. But if you're doing that and you're burning yourself out, then it's not going to end well.
Wow, Rosie, I had to laugh when you mentioned the issue of chasing your tail. That definitely isn't a fun activity, and I know, for example, when a person is totally exhausted and they may be going to the refrigerator to get something to drink, they are so tired they open the refrigerator door and then they can't remember why they're in front of the refrigerator, so they'll close that door. And so I know our audience could really identify with the stress, the exhaustion, etc., that you talk about. That's a challenge. I just want to point out to you, part of the reason that we love talking to you, Rosie, is that you are full of synchronicity and serendipity. And here's what I mean. In your previous answer, you mentioned stress burnout. Well, wouldn't you know it, just a few days ago, I submitted an article to the newspaper entitled, "Are You on the Verge of Stress Burnout?" And so
there you go.
When you said that, and so that's why it's always so much fun. And I think it's fun for anyone when they're talking to a wonderful person like yourself, who there's a simpatico, there's a connection, and that is that, when you work with clients, they get all the skills that you bring to bear, including your sense of humor. And I think that's really, really important, because, most people are feeling time compressed, and so bringing a sense of humor to even the most serious project is always helpful. So, Rosie, I want to thank you for sharing your expertise today and being our guest.
Well, thank you for having me. I always enjoy our conversations. The three of us always have such great conversations, and I hope your audience found some of the ideas we talked about useful. So thanks again for inviting me.
You're very welcome, and I know they will. Ever since we've known you when we met you here a few years ago, you just make an impression, and I think anyone fortunate enough to know you and to work with you would definitely be a renewable referral. Rosie, how can our listeners learn more about your services and work with you. And also, I mean, we first met you through a SCORE workshop, but you do constant contact, teleseminars, and training. How can our listeners take advantage of all that you have to offer?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I do work with people all over the country. So even if you're not in sunny South Florida, just visit my website at www.rosiemedia.com. And Dr. Bob mentioned the book we just released on Amazon this week. Yay! RenewableReferrals.com is where we have a book site. And I did write that with 5 other people. It wasn't just me. But they were my mastermind group, and we had a lot of fun putting it together. And I know you'll find valuable information there. I have an offer on there, and it's actually in the book. So if you go to renewablereferrals.com/RosieMedia and fill out the short form there, I will actually look at your website and give you some solid recommendations to get your online marketing off and running.
Excellent, excellent. So again, if you want to work with Rosie or contact her, you can contact her at her website, www.rosiemedia.com, and that's RosieMedia.com, rosiemedia.com, and her book, which is co-written with her mastermind group, and you'll definitely have to come back on and talk about that and all your other areas of expertise. And
sure.
That is www.renewable, RENEWABLE, referrals, REFERRALS.com, renewablereferrals.com. So, you know, it would absolutely be a wonderful present for yourself to just get in touch with Rosie and share her wisdom and her expertise and learn all that she has to teach. Thank you so much, Rosie.
Thank you.
Rosie, what final thoughts or key idea would you like our audience to take away from today's broadcast? I think that we've covered a lot of ground, and I also want to mention there's one other way for people to contact Rosie, and it is at www.rosiemedia.com/boost.
Yep, that's thank you for that. That's the actual form that they can fill out. The key idea is that marketing, whatever kind of marketing you're doing, whether you're focused on referrals or whether you're focused on online marketing, marketing requires a plan and a strategy to be successful, and it's something you should be doing every week, if not every day, for your business. It's an operation of your business, just like accounting and selling and doing the actual client work. It's all part of that. So I think that's probably the key thing, is that it is just a function of your business, and it does not have to be hard or expensive.
Great, Rosie. I want to thank you for today's interview, and I want to thank our audience for listening. We have been graced by the wonderful presence of Rosie Taylor, who is just a warm and wonderful human being. And for Christine Wright, this is Dr. Robert Wright, Jr. of www.stressfreenow.info. Until next time, be safe and be well.